Take two. I don't know what happened, but my computer just suddenly restarted what I was talking about. Preparedness minded and trying to have people hire me with their health needs, especially in places where I can do primary care. And the computer is fully charged. I don't know why it just restarted. This is weirding me out. Anyways, I was reading, skimming, and excuse me about that. I was skimming this article on a Colorado man under 40 received Tamiflu after getting avian flu at a farm culling poultry. So I didn't want to dwell on that. Who is this guy being exposed to? You know what I'm saying? Like, anyways, look up the survival rate and the transmission rate and the asymptomatic and symptomatic. Look up that stuff. Here's what I'm thinking. I just said this. I'm re-saying everything. I got this weird gut feeling, and I don't like it. It's an impending doom feeling. I want to sit at home and craft. Make my apron that I started. Make a hat for my partner. Finish making these things with this crochet stuff, and I've been covering up parts of the old furniture we got that the fabric's all split off of it. Almost bought up. They had some seat cushion slip covers over at the Goodwill the other day. I think they had, was one for $5 and one for $8, or $8 and $11 or something. I should have got it both. The only reason I did it is because they were fake suede. I didn't know if I could deal with that. Never heard of slip covers till my grandma was like, I need a slip cover. Our chair never fell apart and we had a thick leather couch. Oh, those are the good old days. The things, you wear shorts and it sticks to the back of your legs. I have this fear, like, oh my God, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna burn down. Are we gonna get in an accident? Someone's gonna have a heart attack. Is this tooth issue gonna kill me? I'm gonna have to take those medications because the dentist refused to see me for months and months and years. We wait over a year and a half for a dental appointment, for cleaning, or for an exam, so that you can make an appointment for cleaning. Like, that's cruel and unusual. Like, it'd be different if you already had a place that you could go to and then switch over to that, but it's like, guys, it's like, I wanted to just talk about the basics, but there's something gnawing at my gut and my heart, and I don't know what it is. I'm gonna draw a blood card out of here, and I have these that I picked, but it's from like 2 weeks ago. And if they're upside down or right side up, that's the way that they were picked. I don't remember which one was first. I think it was this one. This one made me feel like this guy was a spoiled brat. But then, after like 2-3 weeks of looking at this card, King of Cups, I saw the water under him, and it gave me a different perspective. It gave me like I can't explain. I'm visual in my thinking. So I'm just gonna like quick shuffle them, set it down, cut the deck. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I cut it weird. I'm gonna choose the one on top. I'm going to show you guys first. And then I'm going to talk, and then I'm going to read. I hope you could see it, because I'm trying not to spoil it. I'm going to put the rest in this. It smells really good. My boyfriend made something that I can eat, some beef roast, chuck roast, with veggies, and sweet potatoes. It smells good in here. It smelled good outside when I got home, too. My kale's sitting in there, drying up. Got salad. We got spinach from like a month ago, I'm sure. That's probably not good anymore. I gotta go in there and figure that out. Before I read the card, I'm gonna go through this mini prepper box from Dollar Tree. All this stuff was $1, and we'll add up how much I saved since it's no longer $1. I think there's batteries in here. There might be a couple things missing from there. I ate up the food that was in there, some of the food, and then I thought there was batteries. I didn't want it mixed with food. Water and shelter, food, clean air, and that means a mask, a respirator, and oxygen stuff. I mean, I could order that. Hold on. And then food, medicine, protection. And then you have some of the help would be flashlights, batteries, rechargeable, solar powered, crank hand powered. I have a combo radio, flashlight, weather station. It's not a there's a weather channel on there. I like the Walkie Talkies can have those too. What kind of stuff do you have for your car? Do you have a adapter, 12 volt to household current? Was it DC or isn't it AC? Excuse me. What about your work? What if you're like me and you're working all these jobs, and what happens if you work all these jobs and they start firing you because you're not as available as when you got hired, because the hours were weird, the pay was weird, and then you're like, well, I'll add another job to it since they're both part-time. But what if they start overlapping and these people let you go and these people let you go because there's the assignment, like the census is over? What would you do? We had some resellers on this reseller group go into I don't think they went to a flea market. I don't know where they went. They went somewhere and got pallets of junk, put it in they said they went to one of my storage units. I'm curious to see how many storage units that they have. They went to one of their storage units, dropped off stuff, and went back out to get more. And everyone's like, me too, me too. And these people are making money. I used to make money until all these people got on board. So what can you do if the internet was down? What could you do with your skills and your mindset? Bartering. You don't necessarily have to be like, oh, I'm going to go sell these, I don't know, tea bags with whatever to somebody at the street corner, like it's like a booth, like a farmer's market. Then I'm going to get cash or digital money. I mean, that's including cash, not necessarily Bitcoin, but, pay with Square. And then I'm going to go out to the store and get some bread and get some bottled water and get some fruit. Like, it could be that you have something, say you have medicinal tea for allergies, and you trade that for, and be careful with all that stuff, but you trade that for firewood or 2 AA batteries. Like, my mind is like, when the S hits the fan, then we're going to go out that. We'll use weapons. We'll use protection. We'll use the mace. We'll take the closet doors off and seal off all of our entrances so people can't break in, and, we're take turns sleeping at night. We're slowly boiling. The frogs in the water slowly boiling. It's getting like a little bit every second of every day. It's not even a little bit every day. It's like every second, every day, there's something else. There's something else. There's something else. National news isn't talking about it. If some people start talking about it, if the AP starts publicizing something, and all the other news networks start to publicize it, then these news networks, then we need our side of the story so that we don't lose our, so something sensational. We don't want to lose our viewers and our ratings and all that. So what do you do when you have a gut feeling, but nobody's telling you to prepare? The government is like, oh, we're not even going to talk about COVID anymore. Oh, we're not going to think about this. We're not going to think about that. We're not going to think about Ukraine and Russia and China and Taiwan. We're going to talk about Johnny Depp and his ex-wife. We're going to talk about Will Smith. We're going to talk about the insurrection. We're going to talk about the primary, what's going to happen for 2024 election. Food shortages, inflation, fertilizer prices skyrocketing. Look at the price of diesel right now. Heating oil, natural gas, electricity. What about coal? People were talking about having to burn coal again. What are you going to do? Prepper communities on full spectrum survival. They reminded us over and over. Everyone, including in the comments, has reminded us over and over and over. Get yourself some warm clothes. Like this year, they try to say, what about the heating bill? What about this? All of us didn't sit here chattering because it's too cold. All of us didn't tape up our windows and block off the drafts and hire someone to insulate and this. We all just said, oh my God, why is my electric bill twice as high? Ours went up. Ours was $200 or something. And then it went up to like $400. We ain't got money for that. And every month, these people on our local Facebook group say every month it's going up again. They keep getting a letter from the power company saying, oh, we gotta increase the prices again and again and again and again and again. And what about cooling? You have a cool fan. What about if the power goes out? Do you have a solar power generator or a solar where you could run a solar and then run a USB powered fan off that? We had a cute USB fan. I think my kids might have thrown it away. We had this little black and orange one. It had a like click click click, like you could rotate it, plug it in your computer. Nowadays you can get the power strips with a USB. You can get that, obviously the wall adapter. You can get a wall what did you call these things? Power surge protectors with them on it, the USB port. If you have a newer house, it's going to come with the USB port with the electrical. What do you do with the communications? CBs. People talk about ham radios. It's regulated. I didn't know that they were that expensive. Basic Walkie Talkies. We got a little emergency one. They're about this big. I feel like that could slip out of your pocket and fall into a grate somewhere. I've never seen a walkie talkie that small, but as far as I know, they work. In fact, the one thing I don't like about walkie talkies is that blip, blip, when you're done talking. I think that I searched a little bit on Walmart. I didn't have any money to do this. We thought we were going to be, I thought I was going to be homeless again. If you get the ones that have the earphone, I say earphones is an old-fashioned term, but headphones, earphones, earbuds, then at least you cut down on that extra noise. And I watch these like prepper movies, these prepper terror movies, and you see someone outside, like any kind of movie, and someone's got a walkie-talkie and they're like hiding. There's like they're hiding somewhere. I'm like, what happens when you're sitting there with a walkie-talkie and someone's there, blah, 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 blah. Like, they're gonna be like, there's someone over there. Like, in my mind, it's like, so you could look at the ratings, you can look at the the specs, and look at the reviews. I think when they say like 20-mile range or this and that, most people never, the affordable walkie talkies, they never have them work that far. They could say, like, oh, they might work if you're on the highway and you're behind the car that you're talking to, or they might go up a mile, and it might work because it's flat and not curvy and not full of trees and buildings. So maybe try those out. Get yourself, what we need is a metal shovel, preferably one that's easy to put in the back of the car. Maybe even get a full-size one too, but get like a foldable, really good quality shovel. We need it for the over-the-road pass we have for the beach. There's our list of stuff we need to put in there. I got a little plastic one I found in the trash. It's like already like brokenish, but I'm like, you know what? Until we get something else, if I gotta duct tape this sucker and tape a piece of wood on it, I don't know. At least it's a handle, Let's see. I went to get a set at Long John's. The bottoms were, I think they were still waffle, but they were from Kohl's. They were more like leggings with that style. Like I saw at Dollar General they had that same style, but they were pajamas. I think they had extra large or triple X. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get that big, but they were literally like pajamas, because it's like, I want the Long Johns to be snug, Let's go to Walmart app. So enjoy your life. I just watched a couple of movies about park rangers, and it made it look like the guy, was it North Carolina or something? He was talking about the education you need for his where he's at, natural resources education, and I was like, and people are talking about the law enforcement and the interpretation and the children's program and the campgrounds and the canoeing and the they were doing prescribed burns and spraying stuff and dealing with the natural resource, dealing with the animals. They're talking too much about the animals. I'm like, that's what I went to school for. My very first degree was to take care of the natural resources and environment. And with communications, also communicating with others, whether it was through sales or whether it was through education or whether it was through, like, for my medicine, trying to share the word. People aren't hiring me. I'm going to end up sharing the word. Actually, I got a proposal to do an article that's due in August on pediatrics. So I feel so blessed, because I just want to give up my license so bad. So we're just saying Long Johns and see if they use that terminology. And I end up just putting for women. I actually bought my pink ones there. They're a little snug. So $19.99, $24.99, 2 stars. These are 2-piece. So I know when I bought mine there that they were not that expensive. So looks like I don't understand this Cuddly Dud brand. I feel like I just miss those cotton thermals. These are all super expensive. One piece is over $15, $20, and that's at Walmart. You know that they have there's nothing in the store. Let's say thermal. I knew I should have gone to what's that store called up there? Tractor Supply. People are like, why do they sell such a Tractor Supply? It sounds like they should have tractors. Like, I ought to go check the Walmart. I got 1 pair of thermals. I got a few pairs of. We have some of my partner's thermals, the polyester thin ones. I found another pair, actually. I think I found 2 of tops too. Oops, winter's almost over. We have leggings. Don't necessarily count because they're not necessarily designed to hold in the heat, but I do wear them under my pants anyway. Even in the summer, I've been wearing them. Maybe not the hottest hot day. I'd rather wear pants over that. I'm pretty fat, but I wear snow pants over that. And the same on the top. What can you fit? As I get fatter, my coats are starting to get snug, and the coats, like my Columbia, right below the waist, raincoats are starting to get snug. So if you had to layer up, it's going to be a little bit too tight. And even the big coat is only, I think I accidentally got an extra large. I meant to get a large at a different town, and I came here and got the same coat at large, or extra large, because they didn't have large. So I was actually lucky because I ended up gaining 50 pounds. So in a very short amount of time, I got some serious issues. I got knee pain. We ended up getting a knee brace last 3 weeks ago. I already have an ankle brace. I need to find them. I got some that are too tight. Be careful about that, because it hurt yourself putting them on and off, and it'll hurt yourself while you're wearing it. It'll crush up your foot. I have a Velcro one, but then you're going to worry about, do you have shoes wide enough? Especially if you need to wear wool socks. You're going to walk around with these braces on. You're going to need bigger clothes. I mean, you might have to buy some mismatched pair of shoes off eBay or something, where you got the bigger shoe. Actually, I should have bought, somebody had a red glittery boot. I should have seen if it was the right foot or the left, because I could put that thing on my right foot and then wear bigger, one size bigger, size 10s. I got at the free expired bread place, I think people die and they donate. I was just, I didn't have my pajama top on. My pajamas smelled like mothballs and it smelled like someone died in it. It didn't like stink, but it smelled like when you're at someone real old's house and it has that particular smell. It was, I was gonna say mink. It was a possum. It's called a possum from New Zealand, like a fur vest. I'm kind of vegan. I was like, I'm taking this. Get grossed out, but I'm taking this. We're gonna go through this box. So this is $1. This was $1. To do hash marks. Oh, I was hoping this was food. Okay, so let's just count everything. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if this, I think this was from Walmart. So we'll say 10, because there was other stuff in here. Alright, so dump that out. 10. So I saved $2.50. So 25% increase, since Dollar Tree is now $1.25. I say plus tax. The tax is going to be even higher. So tax on $1 is 6%. You're paying $1.06. The tax on $1.25 is more than that. So I saved $2.50. Something that costs $10 would be $12.50. So 25% increase. We have these medicines that I got during COVID from Staples. Delivered it with some water and some toilet paper, like right when the pandemic. So I gotta check the dates on this kind of stuff. That was from a different kit. I do have, I think this was from, I thought I bought aspirin in little packs. So you get it from the office store and it comes in, you know what I mean, like you put it in your, yeah, it's already expired. Oh my god. Just check your crap, especially if you own a clinic. You gotta throw that stuff out, because the OSHA can come in and write you up for expired stuff. So we gotta replace that. I'm really upset. If it expired in 2021, I bought it in 2020. Dang it. Alright, good to know. I'm upset because I have a lot of it and nobody uses aspirin. So let's have to look for a science experiment to do. You can do it with is it Tums? Oh, antacid. Is it antacid? Tums and film canisters that nobody has anymore. So the hand warmers, I actually had an extra one in my truck I found on the ground, but it's got some kind of stuff sprayed all over it. So razors, raisins, about to eat, but my tooth hurts. This, I don't know why this doesn't have batteries in it. Sunbeam Brands, it's a name brand. I got this at the T-Mobile. When you do the free T-Mobile Tuesday, they can give you promotional items. I keep forgetting to get my stuff. And then I don't know if this is like a wrist. It's kind of convenient. You could stick it over your, like, through your belt loop. It also has a carabiner on it. So this is pretty nifty, and it works. I bought another one. Maybe it was... Bought another one from Dollar Tree. Where is it? It on and off doesn't work, so it stays on or stays off or whatever. I don't know where I got these. I'm thinking I got a bag of these at the Dollar Tree, but I might have been Walmart. The same with these. I need to actually make sure that I start labeling stuff. These don't work that well. These are kind of like hanging up on the wall if you need the spare key for a certain car. But I prefer these. You can put your phone number, address, and it doesn't, like this one, it just wears off, it breaks. What happened to the actual keychain part? Like, I don't know. It's still in there though. The lighter, it's Dollar Tree, so you get a tiny little lighter. Make sure they work. This doesn't have adjustable flame. The flame's too big. See how small it is? So be careful about that. And one is, like they say, one is none and two is one. So you have one of everything. There's a flashlight. We had these in the past. Somebody stole some from my kids. So you wind it like this. It's pretty noisy. And then you lock it and turn it on. So we had these at a campground before. I think it was a winder. So, oh, use this wind up one. And I was walking to the bathroom, and it was like, bad idea. It's like a little crystal in here. I don't know if you could see it. I love these orange crystals. I have some. I'm supposed to be sewing them onto all my clothes with these sequins. And so, saved $2.50 by buying it. There was pecans in there. They expired. I ate them. And there could have been, like I said, batteries and stuff in there, but I didn't want to mix in with the pecans and the raisins in case they leaked. There's some batteries over there, which not, like, I kind of wish I had more of these. These are not necessarily, like, the top doesn't necessarily stay on too tight. I actually have another one of these in the car. I think I'm going to bring it in today. I think about it. I found it on the ground. Like, who knows what was in it. I think I sanitized it, so I'll get a sanitizing wipe. I need some reusable rubber gloves, a couple pairs of those. And if you have someone with huge hands, you need to get the huge ones. If you're small or medium, get the small ones so they don't fall off, but you don't want them to get too tight, cut your circulation. So I have some wipes. When I use wipes, they typically break my nails off, the 7th generation ones, so I need to get some wipes and wipe that thing off. That's in the car. I think I'm going to put batteries in it. Alright. On a piece of paper, batteries. Alright, so I'm looking at what you already saw was the King of Wands. My premonition is, right now, I'll tell you the truth, I feel sickness with my tooth. This toothache I've had for 9 months, a year. I've been trying to get to the dentist, and they cancel my appointment. I wasted an hour, missed 2 jobs that day. Was a night. They refused to deal with me, and it was a nightmare. It was the worst nightmare. I didn't even make another appointment for me. So I'm not even gonna click on any of these. Biddy Taro says the King of Wands represents pure fire energy. So that's what I thought at first when I saw the picture, was the background looked fiery. Excuse me. Sorry about that. In its masculine form, unlike the other wands, court cards, the king is not so interested in creation and King of Wands depicts a man who has his hands out. A blossoming wand, which is, the grammar's weird, which is set to represent creativity and life's passion. One more. As a person, the King of Wands reversed is a mature male who is rude, boorish, forceful, controlling, and is a bully, dictator, a tyrant. He may be ... Let's talk about minor arcana. Initiative, ambition, drive, and desire. Enthusiasm, creativity, doer energy. And I'm going to click on a little sparkleofjoy.com. Final card is the King of Wands. There's a bunch of ads coming up. Exudes a natural authority like the Queen of Wands. His majesty is full of creative energy. They represent you. So they don't deliver messages like the pages. They represent you or a person in your life. So when you're trying to determine why the King of Wands has appeared in your tarot reading, look at his personality traits. I think I showed you this just now, but I need to read this book that my son sent me. It's interesting to add that to the King of Cups. It's like when you draw several cards, you get just different areas. Some that like intertwine, but I hadn't had 2 King cards. Interesting. Doer energy, creativity, initiative. So full spectrum survivors saying do your chores, do your preps, and have fun. I think they have more ability to have fun because I don't think they have to work a 9 to 5 job or 7 to 10 p.m. job or work 10 jobs, driving all over, killing your body, not even being able to afford to eat because all your food, all your money is going to gas and the bills, and oh, you need to keep these certifications and licenses to do these jobs, so you have to pay all this money out, and the price of everything just go high. Like, oh, you need CPR and first aid, well, you got to pay a certain amount of money. Oh, we know you need it for your job, we got you. Like, we don't have to charge a low fee because you're going to pay it. You're going to pay it, and if you don't pay it, your supervisor or your employment is going to pay it. But if you're self-employed, then you're paying all this stuff. And if you don't make money self-employed, if you want a potential to make money so you don't have an earning cap, if you have a certain amount of hours you can work and you have a certain salary or certain hourly wage, you have a limitation. And it could take you 80 hours a week, which makes it impossible to work anywhere else. It's like, then you have to decide, do I throw that money away and have nothing for a while, take a chance at something else, and that falls through? What do you do when you trust in a higher power? I have a friend, and I said this before, that's getting tired, and she's older, and she's working still, and she's saying that she doesn't have to work, but she wants to work. But I don't know. The price of living is so high, I mean, she must be blowing her money on something. You know, maybe she gambles on. We never know. But I think just trying to go out and get some food and take care of pets and take care of utility bills. So when you're on a some kind of retirement, pension, Social Security, I feel like it's not enough unless you have a really big retirement account, and or you have a partner or spouse that's contributing to the bills, half of the rent, half of the. And if you are owning, you would have so much more income or so much more to keep for yourself, instead of if you own, straight up own, you just have to pay taxes. So it's a rough world. I'm getting priced out of everything. I'm an idiot for not taking advantage. And thinking about that card, I've been having a lot of roadblocks in my life. Every day, everywhere I turn, my whole life. People changing my grades, people saying you don't belong. At Michigan State University, my counselor, or my class advisor told me, I'm not going to help you get an internship. What was the way to get a degree? To get an internship. Did I graduate that year like I was supposed to? No. Just, because I didn't have an intern. He's like, you need this. I help all my students get it, but I don't like you, so I'm not helping you get an internship. I didn't even know where to begin. That's before we were all on Google say, oh, let me do this application at the, parks, Yellowstone, I'm gonna do a summer internship. It could be a 2-week intern. It could be a 3-day internship. You just needed to have that requirement. That's a whole nother story, how I actually got the degree, like, 4 or 5 years later. My boyfriend was getting fussy because people were being racist towards me. He goes, those people are hateful towards you, and you're feeling like trash and dirt, like I told my counselor, and those people are winning. They're getting exactly what they intended to do with their hate, was to drive you into depression and to not go out on the street to be seen. They don't want to see your kind on the street. They don't want to hear the way that you talk. Everybody here makes fun of my accent. And I think it's rude. Like, you see someone that's from Australia or something, and you're so wanting to know where they're from. Oh, what? Are they from England? Are they from South Africa? Are they from Australia? Like, I just, are you Irish? Somewhere in between Wales? Like, you just want to ask somebody, but you don't. You might say, oh, I'm so curious. They probably hear it all. Oh, I'm so curious. Not meaning it's okay. Desensitized from it. But when you're from the United States of America and your parents are from the South and your grandparents are from the South and you grew up in the North and you have very educated parents that were in college during segregation times and traveled the world, traveled the country, lived up north a lot of their life, correct your grammar at every opportunity. I have like a drawl because I'm hanging out with my partner who's from somewhere. But it's so hard to, like, I'm just gonna cry, to have people be like, I know you're not from here. You talk funny. You got that weird accent. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, you know what? You sound ignorant. Like, but do I say that? Mm-mm. So, when you're dealing with food, water, protection, medicine, shelter, it's the middle of summer. It's not the middle of summer, but you know what I mean. Why are we gathering long johns? Well, I don't want to pay $22. So $11 each, that's not bad. So maybe I'll do it. I don't have the money though. They were talking about cold weather sleeping bags rated for -30. If you're on the ground, it's not -30. That's for being lifted up off the ground. I didn't know that. So they said if you had to fill trash bags with leaves. We have a cot somewhere. I didn't even know that. That rating. They said yoga mats or whatever you can put under you, away from you in the ground to get that rating. So like the certain rating might actually be 45 degree, even though it says -30. So I got to talk to my kids about that too. Because I'm from Michigan up north. We didn't ever put anything under a mat. We didn't even all have sleeping bags. When I started, they told us to use the bedrolls. You just take the stuff off your bed, a sheet and a blanket or two, and you roll it up with the pillow and throw it in. Like, you didn't even have it zipped up. You didn't have any thermal. You didn't have any heat reflection. It's like, I didn't even have a sleeping bag. I had this, like, it was almost like a Snuggie old-fashioned version that had the feet tucked in. It didn't zip up all the way. My mom let me use that little thing. I actually liked it. It had, like, sleeves. That's what I use. But we never slept on even a camping mat. We just looked at the ground, moved the big rocks and the sticks out of their way, and threw the tent on there. We didn't even have tents that were connected. We had a tarp that was on the ground and a tent that went on top, and the spiders would come in. And that's a whole nother story. That's like bad me and Dawn. So what do you do when you have, say you only have this box and you gotta flee your house? Someone calls or there's an emergency message saying that there's invaders, and get to your nearest shelter or bomb shelter, or flee the town. What if all you could grab is this, and you could barely grab? Like, I have my notary bag here. I have my purse thing there. I don't have time. My checkbook. I don't have time to grab any food. You just grab this stuff. What if you have 2 cars? What if you have a bunch of stuff in one car? Backpack and with some batteries and some more nuts and raisins. Or you have the other car that's better off-road. Do you take both cars and tell your partner, or do you take one car and take some protection? And, like, what if you have something, a cache or cache somewhere, or storage unit with some fuel in it? gotta be like Night of the Living Dead, just like flee, get away, run, and find a place that you can hole up for the night. But what if I just had to take that box and I look at the floor and it's like, oh, what about my wool socks? Oh, what about my poncho? What, like, should that have been in the car? Should I have had a bug out bag by the door like I used to have? I had one in the closet. We're supposed to have a bug out bag for every person and animal by the door. So if you have to just, if their alarm went off on my phone right now, said get out of here, you up and leave. You don't have time to grab your solar panel, your little battery thing. You don't have time to find, where did I put those walkie talkies? What about the sleeping bags that are over by the closet? Like, if you have 5 minutes, you can bring the car up, throw that stuff down the stairs, throw it in the back, get the heck out. Just, you end up having to take the car that has the most amount of gas and the best gas mileage. You don't have time to grab your long johns. So if you can get, people buy that stuff at the Goodwill. I don't have a washer dryer, so that creeps me out because I can't just wash it right away and I'm wearing someone's underwear. But you could do it if it saves your life. Turn them inside out if you had to. Wash them in the sink and turn them inside out, dry them. But if you could have extra pairs of all this stuff, or your least favorite pair, not necessarily ones that don't work, but maybe you don't like the color. You don't want something that's too itchy, too short, that falls down. You want a good pair, put that in your bug out bag, even if it's 95 degrees outside. And take some cotton socks, and take some wool socks, and take some mittens and gloves, and you might have rubber gloves and masks. And masks aren't just for virus, you have dust and pollution and forest fires. And I was taking a mask to my daughter all these days that forest fires in Oregon, and she wasn't wearing a mask. And like day 3, she's like, let me have the mask. This guy was just subdued. Oregon is looking pretty dry. I had to call my kids about that. What you need, if you have a spiritual, I have a mixed spiritual. When I went to a Christian church, reading those tarot cards was terrifying for me, feeling like I was letting the devil in my house. Going to the Quaker community, going to 12-step meetings, doing the Buddhist meetings, all that stuff is in line with what I had as a faith when I was a kid. So I'm just following this path that was already laid out for me. So I end up being a none of the above religious person. When your gut is telling you something when you pray and meditating and you have race brain like me and you can't do that very well, what are these little, like, tap tap, knock on the door, neon light, splint with a sign, what are those coming out? Especially if you're on diagnosed ADHD and you can't focus. What are those blaring in your face? What is it? If you read Cody Linden, his second book, I forget, his first one was 98.6, The Art of Keeping Your Butt Alive, and the second one is got something about cockroach on that cover. I can't remember what it's called. I passed my board exams after reading that book. And I don't even think I finished reading it before my medical board. I took 3 medical board. We only needed 2, but I have additional 1 because I have a different extra certification, especially this is nationwide. Actually, it's international. It's a U.S. Canada, let's say. U.S. Canada certification. And I read a book about how to prepare, and I passed my board exams. I didn't pass one time. I think 2 times the first one or something ridiculous. I had some struggles. That's a whole nother story of when you have people in your house, you have PTSD, and that's a whole nother story of. But the point is, he talked about your mental status, maintaining this. I don't even know what he said, but I'm going to say confidence. I'm just going to say what I think, but he might have said complete opposite. Not the opposite, but something else along the same lines. Keeping your mental, staying on guard. There's a book called Psychic Self-Defense and Well-Being that's still available online. It's an old book I had read as a kid, at least some of it, and it talked about going somewhere with purpose. If you're going to aimlessly walk around the block, that's fine. You want to walk around the block for exercise, so you have a point. You're going to take your dog, let your dog lead. You're playing on your phone in your bathrobe and your fuzzy slippers, whatever. Your dog wants to read the messages on the fire hydrants. But when you're going through life, and you're going on a walk, you say, hey, I just want to exercise. Well, you just want to walk and see what roads have the least amount of traffic, fine. But what if you're feeling like low self-esteem and this and this and this, and people are going at you or attacking you or blocking the sidewalk or running through the crosswalks. Well, you don't just, you use your psychic self-defense to say, hey, I'm going to go, even if you do it one block at a time. Hey, I'm going to go from block A to block B. I'm going to hold my shoulders up, my head up. I'm going to have a slight, smile on my face. I'm going to be enjoying the smell of the tulips that's coming out, and the birds chirping, the sounds, the blue sky, the warmth of the sun on my face. And I'm going to walk with honest confidence down the street, or these people are laughing at you, making fun of you because you got mismatched socks on, and making fun of you because your butt's too big for your pants. You're going to walk and hold your head up high. You let that down, those people are going to make you more sick. That you come home and cry because people made fun of me. But at least while you're walking, you have strength. Dog sees you, they're not going to mess with you. You start to let those people bother you, and there's people honking at you because you're walking through the crosswalk and they have a red light and they want to go through the red light and run you down. You could get meek. Dogs going to growl at you. Babies are going to make fun of you. Little kids saying, why her hair stick up funny? Like, walk. Okay, my next goal, turn left. I'm going to go this way because it's really sunny that way. I'm going to go this way because these people have a pretty garden. Oh, there's a store up here. I got $5 in my pocket. I'm going to go there. I'm going to have a plan. After the store, I'm going to spend $5. I'm going to walk 3 more blocks, and then I'm going to turn around and come home. I have a plan, and I'm just coming up with the plan, but I have the plan. Then I'm going to come home, take off my shoes, wash my hands, sit down, and just be still. And those fools that made you mad because they made fun of you, you pray for those people. And you pray that you get protected. And you thank God for that they didn't just laugh, that they only just laughed, that they didn't shoot you, or that they didn't rob you, or that they didn't drag you in the corner and beat and rape you, because that happens to you. When I always thought about that just as a walk with honest confidence and having, the plan isn't the word. What went through my mind, so I read this book. It was written in the 70s or 80s. I read it probably in the 80s or 90s, the part that I'm talking about. In the past 3 days, so this is 30, 40 years later, in the past 3 days, my mind said, do that with your life. And I keep hearing this still small voice saying, you're doing all these jobs, and people say, you got too many work, you're stressed out, all you do is complain. Some reason, that's your choice right now. Some reason you didn't quit all those jobs. Some reason you decided to apply for all those jobs. Some reason you decide to accept all those jobs. There's something going on spiritually, universally, mentally, physically, financially, that's guiding you to do that 7 days a week. But what about that honest confidence? Hey, I have a plan. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this today. After that, I'm going to take a shower, grab my lunch, blah, blah, blah. Take my 15-minute break, blah, blah, blah. Finish my day, clock out, do my timesheet, turn it in, boom. Go back home, enjoy my life. Sit down, wash your hands, take your shoes off, and sit and be still. And it's not up to people making fun of you, people saying, oh, you work too much. And then they're like, oh, I lost my job and I have no income. Well, you're making fun of me for working too much. You're being sarcastic with me for working all the time. You're mad at me because I didn't call when I said Fridays don't work because I have to work all these jobs. And then you're mad and you don't answer the phone when I call. And you tell me to call, and then you don't answer the phone. And you know I'm busy. And you refuse to talk to me. There's different people that try to say, oh, I'm going to help you. I'm your friend. Please. But you have to say, this beam of energy that's going to the higher power, let it shine on you and let it lift off your miseries and let it fill you with what you need. Protection, survival, clean water, a Berkey filter, live straw, and a Sawyer mini filter. Boom! Don't let them get frozen. Once they get wet, don't let them get frozen. If you gotta store them new, the filters. Boom! You got raisins. You ever get lightheaded and you're about to pass out or you're driving because you don't have any food and you're out longer, it's hot and dry. You eat a few raisins. Oh, God, it feels so much better. Do you feel like you ate a big meal? No. But can you get to from point A to B? So let your life be from point A to B. When I was in my meetings in person earlier in recovery, I used to say, always like, if you got to take it, they always say take it a day at a time. Take your day at 24 hours at a time. 24 hours at a time. You go on a 24-hour trip. I say, well, sometimes you got to take an hour at a time. Sometimes you can take it a minute at a time. Sometimes you got to sit on your hands at the recovery club with your kids eating Pop-Tarts and popcorn out of the vending machine. And that's all the money you have for the rest of the month. But you need that next meeting in 40 minutes. But you're going to sit there and you're going to watch the clock. And you're going to sit on your hands. And you're not going to pick up the drugs. And you're not going to pick up the alcohol. You're not going to pick up the tobacco. You're not going to pick up the gluten. You're not going to pick up the caffeine. For me, it was all these things. You're not going to pick up meat. You're not going to pick up cheese. I had a cheese addiction. And you're going to literally sit on your hands and watch the clock and listen to people coming in and out of the building. When it's time for you to clean up your kids, use the bathroom, get to that next meeting. And someone was talking about, reminding me that you take it a second at a time. You're sick, your tooth hurts, you're sore, you're driving, you're scared, you almost got in a car accident, people are running you off the road, people are putting 4 bright lights on their truck and driving right up on your bumper so you can't see the road in front of you or anything because you feel like you're being abducted by aliens with bright lights. You let yourself go to, I gotta go from point A to point B with all this confidence. There's one thing that I'm sensing, especially as a raw foodist, I hate sensing what other people are doing. Humans are so predictable. There's a reason why you have a book of diseases as a doctor where you have like 5,000 diseases. Most people are not the only one to get that disease. It's not like, oh, you're a unique individual with a unique circumstance. No, you're eating the similar foods, you're wearing similar clothes, you're having the similar pollution in the environment, and you're getting the same thing. Or you're genetically getting it. Anyway, it's a different story, but it's just like, I lost my train of thought with that. Anyways, you gotta be you. You are unique. And you just gotta do, if you ever, like for me, going to medical school, being a doctor, everyone's like, you can't do it, you're not gonna do it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm right before your eyes. It'd be like if I was holding this book up in the air and they say, you can't do that, it's impossible. But do you see me doing it? People like you can't do that. They make you feel like a criminal. What these people are doing, some of these people, they bleach up their hair, they get their nails done, they get a personal trainer at the gym, they work out, they go and get themselves some Patagonia, they go get themselves some Hermes clothing, some name brand clothing, and they walk around and they're going to their spa appointment and they're going to their coffee club meeting with the girls and they're driving their Benz, they're driving their Beamer, and they're like, look at me, look at me, look at me. I was that blonde hair, blue-eyed little girl that everyone said, oh, you're so cute. Oh. And now you're 70 years old and you're just like, so sometimes you're like walking down the street reading the book, or you're like, okay, thinking with honest confidence, I was going to get 3 things at the store: bananas, avocados, and pumpkin seeds. Okay, focus, okay. What time do you have to be at work? Make sure you pay that bill. Great. Okay, I'm going to stop thinking and I'm going to soak in my environment. And I'm going to be grateful that there's trees and grass. Grateful to see these people pushing little babies in the little buggy things. Now this person is going to be blocking the sidewalk and be like, oh, there's a black woman coming, walking with a white boyfriend. I need to cross over and walk in her path and stare at her until she says, yes, yes. Oh, come on. Got some kid's birthday this, I got this. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell my supervisor this. I gotta make sure I do my time. I was like, okay, let me make sure that I'm walking on my side of the sidewalk. I'm getting my little exercise in, getting a little vitamin D, fresh air, sunshine. There's that other book up. This one will talk. I'm not the only one that's talking about the white women walking in front of you so that you have to walk around them. But they look at you and they stare at you and they get mad and they scorn. They don't want to be at an equal with someone like me. And the people that were supposedly my friends self-consciously did this to you. A lot of people. The church people, they didn't care. They just blatantly said, you don't belong. The people in my AA and my kids' school that try to say they're universalist, Unitarian, and peace, love, everyone happy, stickers on their car, they were the worst. Like racist, you don't belong in this area, you don't belong living here, you don't belong dating out of your race, blah, 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 blah. And these people want you to acknowledge them, and they want you to bow down like they're the Queen of England and that they deserve a curtsy. Bow to the Queen. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to be like, my people got lynched for looking these people in the eye back in one generation, my dad's generation. These people got lynched. Even my brother was born, you could get lynched. You still get lynched. It's a little bit different, but it was legal back then. Oh, this black guy looked at some woman 3 blocks away. Looked at some little young woman wearing a skirt. Next thing you know, he's dead. Public hanging. Like, if you want to say, I'm wearing this $2,000 suit and I'm going to go get a 30-minute massage that's costing me $1,600, and then I'm going to go eat some kind of asparagus somewhere, and then I'm driving a luxury car, and I got, my life handed to me on a silver spoon with no education, but I make $12,000 a month to say hi to people come into the car dealership. Good morning, sir. Hello, how are you? Good morning. Please proceed. And you're making $12,000 a month just like with your Botox. Like, it's not my job to curtsy. If you want to join a club or start a cult where you have people bow down and you're a guru, but it's like you want to make me know my place in society, that I'm on the bottom of the totem pole because I'm the blackest black, the blackest person race. You want to make sure that you know that it's not okay. You don't approve of me being with a white person. My mom's family's part white, so I'm gonna have to choose. My kids are gonna have to choose. Like, you're only gonna date with mixed people. It's like, you find somebody who's compatible and you date them. I'm not dating a monkey. I'm not dating a baboon. I'm not dating your little dog that you want us to recognize because it's a full breed. Give me a month when I get my dog from the dog pound. Peace.